A warm good morning to one and all present in the meeting. I cordially welcome Mr. Pradeep, Application Engineer at Integrated Microsystem, Gurjaon, Haryana. He works with image processing tools, materials, material modeling, CAD, FIA, and CFT models based on 3D image data. He looks over the technical support for simpleware software and closely works with simpler customers to help them with their designs, research, and modeling needs. He provides live demonstration to various IITs, NITs, hospitals, and faculties of various institutes who are working in the field of 3D image processing. And also, he helps the faculties who are working in the field of medical devices, patient-specific implants, implant designs, 3D printing, digital rock physics, and also material modeling, manufacturing, and simulation. This is a short introduction about Mr. Pradeep. Now the session is yours, sir.
Thank you much, sir, for introducing me. I would like to thank AICT and Kamraj College. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this platform to introduce the new trends which are available in this 3D printing domain. Can we start, sir, or uh,
Yes, sir, we shall
we
start,
can
sir.
wait?
Others will be joining soon.
Okay. So I will just start by sharing my this screen. So today we will have two parts, sir. The first part there will be a presentation, and in the second part, I will also provide you a live demonstration by taking an example data set, and then we will see like how to create a 3D a medical model for 3D printing application, which can be very helpful for teaching purpose or for this research and for clinical and for pre-surgical planning. Okay, so first we will just have a look on the presentation so that we can discuss the workflow and the like the few case study I will also discuss. Okay, so I will just start by sharing my presentation. Okay, so can you confirm, sir, if my screen is visible to you?
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay, so the topic for our today's session is this 3D images to model. If being a mechanical or being a biomedical, we can discuss like this 3D images to model, as its name suggests. So in this, we will see the 3D image processing and the model generation, CAD, CAE, and 3D printing preparation by using a few softwares and also a very proprietary software as well. Okay, so we can start. Okay, so if I give you an idea about like what we are, basically from integrated microsystem, Gurgaon is based in this Gurgaon and Haryana north side location, and we provide supports and sales for this simpleware software and this ATK and for this Crosslight. Okay, so basically Simpleware and Quantum ATK, they both are product of Synopsys. Basically Simpleware is very useful in this biomedical image processing domain, and this Quantum ATK is for material and device simulation. If we are in nanomaterial and devices for CNT, and there are so many like in this we basically deal with the nanomaterials. And for the Crosslight software we can use for the MOVSET microelectronics device, MOVSET. Okay, so we will not discuss this Crosslight. Okay. So like first we will see like this what is 3D image processing. Okay, and during this presentation, if anyone face any doubt, any question related to the presentation on any topic, so please feel free to stop me. And or in the last we can also have a Q&A session so that we can discuss more. Okay. So first, I can discuss about this. What is this 3D image processing? Uh, okay. So for this, basically, one- Okay, so what if we discuss about this 3D image processing? So basically, we are familiar with the image processing, but 3D image processing is similar, just like an image processing. In this, basically, we get the data set from different modalities. It may be from MRI, CT, or we can say computed tomography scanner, or through FibSam or any FESAM images. And if we import that images in any software, and then we apply few transformation, filtering, image segmentation, and a few morphological operation. Okay, so like with these images, so it is possible for us to quantitatively assess the real structure through in silico process. Okay, so we can generate a 3D model from an MRI CT data to get the model 3D printed for research, clinical, and for pre-surgical planning. Okay, so this is all about the 3D image processing. And now the question arises is that like why this image based modeling? Okay, so as we know that the adoption of this 3D imaging technology in many fields is like emerging very fast. Everyone is adopting this image based modeling because if we adopt this image based modeling, it will reveal external as well as internal features of the anatomy or any material or any sample, that if we scan that sample, so we have opportunity to get the information about the external as well as internal feature of that particular data set. Okay, and we know that this image based modeling has its application in both industrial as well as in medical settings. Okay, and we know that the demand for this more realistic simulation is increasing day by day. This is because of the expanding capabilities of FEA and CFD codes. Okay, and this ever increasing access to high specification hardware. Okay, and with the help of this image based modeling, this will also allow us to study the true topology and structure and the material of our data of the real data. Okay, so this will lead to the growth in image based inspection and simulation. Okay, now like for this we can see the various steps in this medical 3D printing. Okay, so the first step is data acquisition. We know that there are two, that is contact, the non-contact and contact. Everyone is familiar with these. And for the processing, after the acquisition, we proceed to the processing, where we can use different softwares. We are using simpleware, so we discuss simpleware, few case studies as well. Next is model generation. For the model generation, we can adopt 3D printing, FDM, SLS, and there are so many techniques are available for the this 3D printing application. Okay, so now comes to this basic medical 3D image processing system. Okay, so if we are into the field of 3D organ printing, and then we should have an idea about the system or the workflow. Okay, so the first step is in this kind of workflow is acquisition. So firstly, we have to acquire the images, the MRI or CT scan or FibSam or from any other modality. So first we have to acquire the data set so that we can process our sample data set in any software. Then it goes to the processing part. Okay, so in the processing, we have various steps. So the first is pre-processing, and like I will also discuss this pre-processing segmentation, all the parts in the demonstration part as well, so that I can show you, or by taking an example data set, how you can generate a 3D medical model very easily. So the next is segmentation. This basically segmentation is like to segment our region of interest on which our focus is. Like we want to segment that particular part. Next is detection. Like it may be either tumor or any kind of disease or any kind of radiation that we can detect during this processing workflow. Next is analyzing and result. So we can also prepare a result or report. We can take out the measurement of volume, length, angles, or any kind of measurement we can take out. Then diagnosis, this part may be done by the surgeon or researcher, or with the help of biomedical engineer, they can help the doctor to to have a better idea on the pre-surgical planning. Okay, so visualization reporting is all done by the doctors. Next is this different part of the 3D image processing workflow. Okay, so I forgot to inform you. So basically, this processing part will be done by the softwares. Okay, so we can use open source, but open source are they are good, but they have some limitation. Okay, so that we can discuss later during the demonstration part. Now, the different part of the 3D image processing workflow, like you can see here, as we discuss, there are different parts. We can say the steps which are arranged in this medical image processing workflow. So we can discuss step by step. Okay, so the workflow, or one more thing, we can use this 3D image processing in medical as well as in material domain. We can say material and manufacturing domain. So for the medical, as you can see, we can use it for the organ 3D printing, generation of our 3D model of any organ, of any anatomy, or any kind of tumor. So we can use in that medical. And for the material, we have opportunity to use it, to use the softwares for the non-destructive testing, reverse engineering, or to for the 3D metrology, for the part inspection. The both application we can proceed. So the workflow start with this 3D image import, then segmentation, and then measurement analysis, then CAD and image integration, then model generation, then finally for the automation we can use scripting. Okay, so we can discuss. So now we will discuss the workflow that for this 3D image processing. So the first one is the 3D image import and visualization. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, like first we have to get the data that we can get from MRI, CT, or micro CT scanner, or from other modality as well. Okay, so after getting the data set, we have opportunity to import that particular data in any software. Okay, so after importing that data into a software, then we have option for the co-registration of multiple data set. If we are using only like MRI data set, okay, and if we want to co-register that data set with the CT scan data set, so opportunity we also have to register that MRI with the CT data set, so that we can have a better understanding of the anatomy or the data set or the structure. Okay, so then you can proceed for the rendering, 3D rendering or reslicing of your data set. You can change the slicing or slicing thickness, slicing values. Okay, so that are available in the visualization. So you have option to visualize. So in this tab, or you can see here, there we have 4 views. So out of these 4 views, so we can see these 3. So this sagittal, and this coronal, and this axial. So they are 3 orthogonal slice views. Okay, so this one is the 3D view that we will see in the software part. Okay, so here we have option to visualize our data set. Okay, we can remove some kind of artifacts like metal artifacts, we can smooth the images, we can reduce noise, we can improve the our MRI or CT data set quality for the better visualization. Okay, so that we can not later we can discuss that thing. So here we can see the few import format, the various import format which are available in today's market. Okay, so the various formats are the DICOM. We can say that there we have version 3.0 and 2D stack we can use. DICOM text without imported data, DICOM D, interfile, meta images, or 2D image stacks we can also use. This 2D image stack we get from micro CT scanner. Okay, so this may be in the format of BMP, GIF, TIFF, or XML. So I have not tested the complete data set library here, but I have just selected the few data which everyone is familiar with these data. Okay, we also have option for the pixel type. We can select, so a biomedical engineer will or EC department, they can easily understand about these pixel type. And for the CAD files, we can see we have option to start our workflow with the STL file, ply.igso or .stp file. Okay, so next I can discuss like this medical image segmentation. Okay, so this image segmentation is basically based on medical image, like we can say the segmentation of different bones by using few tools. Okay, so you can use few tools in 2D images as well as in this 3D view, so that you can segment your region of interest, and then you can proceed for the further research, like 3D printing. If you are in 3D printing, then you can prepare your model for 3D printing. If you are like you want to find out the bone mass density, then you can also find out the bone mass density, so that you can see the fracture where will be the fracture will occur. Okay, so that option we also have, and that thing I can also discuss during the demonstration. Okay, so basically segmentation is to segment our region of interest, if we discuss in a single line. Okay, so as we already discussed about the segmentation, so this segmentation is a process of automated or semi-automatic detection or extraction of boundaries within 2D or 3D image. Okay, so here you can see, I have just pasted the few images of after the segmentation. You can see here, this is the pelvic region. After segmentation, it will look like this. For the heart segmentation, for this organ segment, you can see this will be look like this. Okay, so there are many tools are available in softwares to process this medical data to prepare it for the segmentation. Okay, next is this measurement and analysis. Okay, so like as we are engineers, so the measurement part is very important for us. Because of this measurement, we can find out the shortest distance between two femoral bones. You can see here we have option to find out the space. You can see here the we can fit a spare, so that we can check, or we can this can be very helpful for preparing the implant. Okay, and you can see here for the material, we can inspect the gear for, like say if we already have a manufactured gear, and we also have a CAD design gear. Okay, so like if we want to measure the deviation, the surface deviation, then we can import the scanned sample of this manufactured gear in software, and we will also import the CAD file in software. Then we co-register to like we register to different data set, the scanned gear and the CAD design gear. Then we will check the surface deviation, how much is the surface is deviated from as build part from as design part, so that we can compare, and then we can like after that we can reduce some kind of parameter in manufacturing process. This is a blood vessel. Okay, so arteries. So for this, you can also get the cross-sectional areas, length, so test length, number of nodes, points, radius, flow. Okay, so there are different measurement that we can take out from the medical data set. Okay, so they are very helpful during the research part. Okay, or during the surgical part, or during the uh, teaching purpose, you can say. Okay, so and we can also find out the porosity, fracture, delamination, particles. Okay, Next is this CAD and image integration. Okay, just a second. Okay, and for this CAD and image integration, if we are into the field of implant design, okay, let's say we have designed an implant in any software, in any CAD software, okay. Let's say if you design an implant in SolidWorks or AutoCAD or any other CAD software, okay. So, like if you want to incorporate or integrate that implant with the medical data, so then you can also import that medical data in softwares so that you can integrate that implant or that stunt with the medical data set to see the best fit, or you can have a opportunity to check the best fit of the implant with the medical data set. Okay, so that is the CAD and image integration. So you can integrate your implant with the medical with the anatomy. Okay, or if we are in, as we are in 3D printing domain, so like we want to reduce the material uses and weight of the 3D printed model. So for this we have opportunity to reduce the material requirement and to provide the strength to this femur, sorry, to this pelvic data set or to this pelvic model. So we can make it hollow and we will provide internal lattice structure. Okay, so we can change the type of lattices that we are going to provide for this data, and we can proceed for the 3D printing. Okay, so that this will reduce the material as well as it will also provide the strength to this 3D printed model. Okay, next is this model generation. Okay, so for the model generation, like we if we are into the field of simulation and we are using ANSYS, Abacus, COMSOL or any other simulation software, okay, so then we have opportunity to make or prepare our volume mesh model according to our requirement. Okay, so let's say we are in we are using ANSYS. Okay, so then you can generate a finite element mesh of your model according to ANSYS software requirement, and you can also provide the contact nodes, cell, or the material property as well, you can define. Okay, so the best thing is like we have opportunity to define the material property based on the grayscale intensity of our data set. Okay, so later we will also see that part, how we can define the material property based on this grayscale value. So this will be very helpful in identifying the mass density distribution, so that we can identify the this fracture location where will our fracture will occur. Okay, so here you can see the different export format, as I already discussed. Like we, if we are in simulation, okay, so in simulation we can export our data set in Abacus, Edina, ANSYS, Workbench, COMSOL, or this LS Dyna, VTK, MATLAB. Okay, for if we are in this for this CFD, so for the CFD we have option to prepare our model as a software requirement. If we want to export our model for Fluent, so we can export to Fluent, Abacus, COMSOL, MATLAB, VTK. NURBS model we can also export. Okay, so that is in IGS or STP file. So the next is scripting. So this is also a part of the workflow where we will use the scripting for automating some part of our workflow. Okay, so let's say if we are using any software, so they have like scripting as well. Some software have scripting. Okay, so with the scripting, let's say we have generated a 3D model. Okay, and we have defined the material properties as well as the tools that we have earlier used. Okay, and we, if we are working on a similar kind of data set on a different, like again we have to generate a model. Okay, so instead of using the same tool again and again, so we can generate a script can change. I can show you like how you can generate a script from a log. You can see here. You can just right click here and convert it into Python script. Okay, so this will be very helpful for making our some part of workload to be automated. Okay, so that we don't need to use the similar tool again and again. Okay, and we can build plugins. We have option for the this for macro record. Okay. Okay, so for the automation, like if we are like a beginner or an expert user, so the segmentation of any anatomy will take some time if we use the manual approach, like the manual tools we use. So this will take around 40 minutes. Okay, so 38 minutes around. Okay, and if we are using some automated segmentation tools, then you can see here the time. So the automation segmentation will be completed within just 2 minutes. So this is at the segmentation of knee region, segmentation of knee MRI. Okay, so you can see here. So the segmentation is within this just 2 minutes. Okay. So here you don't need to use a tool. So for the segmentation, you just need to select import a data set, and you can just click on to generate a 3D model by using automated tool. You can just click apply. So this will automatically generate this model of this knee region. Similarly, for this AS cardio, like for this automated segmentation of this NGCT data set, as we know that the segmentation of heart is a very complex or is a very time consuming task. Okay, we have option to use few automated tools to generate a 3D model within just 1 minute. Just a second, sir. Just give me a 1 minute. Okay. One second, sir. I'm just getting some kind of. Hello. Okay. So we are just discussing about the. Okay. So we are just discussing about the automated segmentation of heart. Okay, so we can use the machine learning based automatic segmentation approach for the segmentation of this heart. Okay, so this will also reduce the time so that we can utilize the time in surgical planning or any other research procedure. Okay. So next, now we will discuss few case studies. Okay. So as we have simple way on using this for the like whether also distributor. Okay. So now we will discuss a few case studies. Okay. So the first case study is segmentation and modeling of this tumor, the breast tumor for 3D printing. Okay. So, like as you can see, the first step is the segmentation and modeling of this breast tumor for 3D printing. Okay. So let's say for the overview, if we discuss, as we know that the 3D printed anatomical models, we can say the 3D printing anatomical models, this one. Okay. we can say are the beginning to have a significant impact on in medicine. Basically, in this case study, you can see here a model of the breast along with this tumor. You can see this tumor, okay, is being treated so that the patient could better understand, and so the patient could better understand the diagnosis and the subsequent treatment, the option that are being proposed by the physicians. Okay, so and this 3D printed model were also useful for the physician to better visualize the anatomy of the pathology. Okay, so if we discuss about the image processing and segmentation part, okay, so this data, you can see here the DICOM data from MRI scan. Okay, so this is the DICOM data from MRI scan. So this data was imported in the SimpleWare software to generate two different 3D model. So you can see here two different 3D model. Okay, so a model of the patient left breast and the model of the the resident tumor. You can see here. Okay, so this is the tumor, so they just calculated and the volume as well of this tumor, and you can see the 3D generated model as well. Okay, so for generating this 3D model, they used few tools like window level, threshold for selecting the grayscale value, the lower and upper values of grayscale. They just cropped it to very specific region of interest, and after that they use resample. Okay, so resampling we can use for downscale or upscale of our data. Next, they used mass flood fill and cavity fill and close for closing the any if there any cavity which left open to the surface or boundary, so they can use close. After that, they use dilate. Dilate is a CAD tool. Okay, then smoothing for the surface smoothing. Okay, so there are different tools that are used for the segmentation of this tumor. Okay, so okay, so the next is this model generation. Okay, so after the segmentation, okay, so these two segmented model were exported as two STL surface model. You can see here the breast and this tumor. Okay, okay, and this 3D model of the breast was hollowed, and you can see this post. Okay, so this post was also designed to anchor the tumor model to the breast model after printing. Sorry, after printing. Okay, so that like we can have a better understanding of the tumor location. Okay, so this post guide wall hole like helps to like it will help this model to like to have a proper location of this tumor. Okay, so during the printing, so the location will be fixed. Okay, the same. Or you can see after the generation of 3D model, so they divided this breast model into two halves. Okay, to make the visualization easier. Okay, and they also imported that soft model in Autodesk Fusion 360 for further modification before printing. Okay, like for the finishing and from this the symbol for the post processing. You can see here the 3D printing and conclusion. Okay, so after generating the 3D model in software, okay, so the breast model was printed with a transparent material. You can see here this is the transparent material. So they defined they changed the color of this breast as a transparent material so that they can have a better visualization of this tumor location. Okay, and they selected the color of the tumor as in opaque material. Okay, so as I already discussed about this post, so the post allow the tumor model to be quickly and accurately oriented to the breast model. Okay, so these model are very easy to handle and as a and present as a visual aid. for the student for the surgical planning. Okay. And for 3D printing, they just use Stratasys. Yes. So for the 3D printing, okay. So as you are okay, so this is the final case study. Okay. So in this, for the overview, if we discuss, they just get the data and MRI data of the patient. They just import the data in software, and they just generate a 3D model of the breast as well as for tumor. Okay. Then they go for the 3D printing, and they prepare for the surgical planning. So how they can remove this tumor, or what kind of research they can adopt for this tumor. Okay. Next is 3D printing with this Nicholas Children Hospitals. Okay. So for this case study, they also used, but as being a hospital, they use automated segmentation technique for the segmentation of organs. Okay. So this Nicholas Children Hospital also use the software because they deal with the 3D printing and for the heart surgery. Okay, for the better visualization, and they also use it for the research purpose as and for the teaching purpose as well. Okay, so for this case study, the cardiovascular surgery advanced project laboratory at this Nicholas Children Hospital. So they needed to plan a complex operation for a teenage patient with an anomalous origin of the left coronary arteries from the right sinus of this valsalva with intramural and for the intraretinal courses. Okay, course. Okay, so and so okay. Okay. And due to the complex nature of the pathology, you can see. Okay, so it was decided that a 3D scan initially I discussed the DICOM format. Okay, of the patient heart was necessary because before the this planning. Okay, and that a 3D printed model would help the surgical team to visualize the pathway of the heart to plan for the surgery. Okay, so they just use the software to generate a 3D model and to make it ready for 3D printing. Okay, and so that they can have a better view of the surgical. Okay, and as we know that the 3D anatomical printing offers many benefits to clinician, including enhancing visualization and measurement of pathologies to support planning of both standard and this complex surgeries. Okay, so while also incorporating this medical device when applicable. So you can see here this the model preparation during this. After the presentation, I will also generate this 3D model. Then have a view like how you can make it ready for the 3D printing. Okay. So as I initially discussed about this machine learning based automated segmentation tool. So they just loaded the patient heart 3D scan in the simpler software. Okay, and they use the automated segmentation, techniques or the tools so that they can save the time. Okay, they use the tool for the segmentation and landmarking. So the landmarking will be for the ventricle, aorta, and for the different reasons. This will be automatically generated. The landmark will be automatically placed. Okay, so within just few clicks of the buttons, so your model will be ready. Okay, so here they save a lot of time during the surgical planning. Okay, here you can see the 3D anatomical printing the Stratasys printer. Okay, so the printer you can use anyone. Okay, you can see here the different views. The first one is this. Okay, this lateral view and this the transverse view of the 3D printing ready model. Okay, or you can see this and say this the 3D printed analytical model from this Stratasys software. Okay. So you can see the pathologies with the encircle in this orange. Okay, so the conclusion we can say, so this work is being carried out by the team, okay, at these hospitals to demonstrate the value of using the advanced healthcare technologies, as we are already aware, because the advanced healthcare technology is very are very helpful. Okay, so they just demonstrate the value of this using advanced healthcare technologies, including 3D printing, the cardiovascular surgery. Like the APL now routinely uses this scale models because they are dealing on daily basis. They use 100 plus data set. Okay, for the daily basis, like for daily basis. Okay, being a large hospital. Okay, so if we like for segmentation of art, as we know that it takes time, and if we like use that time in a particular data segmentation, so then there will be no time for the surgical planning. Okay, so we have to use some automated tech to save the time. Okay, so that for that they use the automated technique to segment or generate a 3D model of the heart region, and then plan for the cardiovascular surgeries. Okay. Next, we can also discuss. I will just quickly discuss about the reverse engineering automotive part. Okay, just give you an overview because then we will proceed for the demonstration part. So let's say if you already have a design part, okay, a manufactured part, okay, and you want reverse engineering of this automotive part. Okay, so you can import the CT scan data in software. Okay, so initially you will visualize and do the initial segmentation of your this cylinder head. Okay, and then you will use a few tools to generate a 3D model. You can see here the fittings. Okay, the exhaust, inlet. Okay, so and after that you can have a option, you will also have an option to generate a finite element mesh of this, so that you can proceed for the simulation as well. You can see here the visualization and segmentation. You can visualize the scanned sample in software. Okay, you can see after that 3D editing of these valve seat. You can see here the cylinder valve seat. You can see in this 3D 2D view as well. Okay, from this cylinder head. So you can see the results. So after the generation of this 3D model, and then we generate this finite element model. Okay, and we imported that for LS China. Okay, for preliminary analysis of the impact caused by the presence or absence of the void in the cylinder head. Okay, so basically this involves the comparing the principal stress around the voids for the cases where the voids was present or absent. Okay, so with consideration made of intake and exhaust temperature, so this approach enable insight into the potential performance of the part under different manufacturing condition. Okay, so this setting up the future research into defect analysis. Okay. Okay, so this is export to 3D printing that we will discuss. Okay, so now I will just switch my screen to the software part where I will show you how to generate a 3D model. Okay, so I hope, sir, my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay. So, as you can see, this is the graphical user interface of the software. Okay. On the top, we can see there are the tools. These tools are mostly arranged in a chronological manner according to the workflow of the 3D image processing. Okay, as we discussed earlier. Okay, so on this we can say the help and support, and here we can see the project information. So the project information will give us the information about the geometrical properties, object count, and the memory size of our data set. And here we can see this dataset browser that we will see later. Here we can see the new project form. We can start with working with the DICOM images, DICOM D for the industry purpose, for the non-destructive testing and reverse engineering. We can import images that we get from a CT or a the micro CT scanner or a nano CT scanner. Then STL and CAD file, we can also import volume mesh file. Let's say we are using ANSYS or Abacus or any other simulation software, and we have that file. So we can import that file in the software to for the mesh refinement or for any kind of to remove if you want to remove any kind of defect or any kind of warning or okay. So then we can also import the volume mesh file. We can start with the blank image. If you already have any saved project, we can open. So for the today's session, I'm going to import a DICOM image of the pelvic region and click here and scan the folder. Okay, so here I have this data set, this pelvic. Okay, pelvis. Okay, as I have imported that in the software. So as you can see, we can see the number of images in that particular DICOM. That is, there are 270 images. We can see the slice preview. Okay, we can see the this data was taken from a single time frame, and the modality you can see the CT scan, study date, study description. Okay, here we can see the DICOM text. This will give us the information about the machine modality, the patient age, the type of modality used, or we can anonymize the DICOM text. Okay, if I click here to use advanced import. Okay, so here we can see the preview as well. As I already discussed, the number of slices are, if we scroll this to this, so there are 270 slices are there because this zero is also a slice. And if we right click here, we can just visualize the pixels or the grayscale values of this DICOM data. And we can initially we can crop our data set, or we can define the pixel type. As I initially discussed, it's a 16-bit in sign integer data. We can see the pixel scaling, rescaling as well. Okay, so like we will leave it to default. We will see in the next part. Okay, as initially discussed, as you can see, we have these four views. Okay, so out of these four views, we can see these three views are 2D orthogonal slice view. Okay, so they are arranged in like this is in sagittal direction. If we scroll this, we can visualize. We can visualize in the sagittal direction. We scroll this slicer. Okay, so we can see this is the hard tissue and this is the soft tissue. Close it, or if we expand this coronal direction and click here. You can also have a view of the coronal direction. Close it to see here in the axial direction. Okay, and this is our this 3D view. Okay, so we can say the 3D rendering view. If I click here, we can see you can see the different presets which are available. Okay, so let's see if we select this. Okay, I've already cropped the data set. Okay, just for the visualization, if we select this CT bone, okay, so as we know that this is CT scan data, so we can select simply CT bone and click down. Okay, and close this. Or this is just a volume rendering, 3D rendering. Okay, this is just for the visualization. We can see here data will also have some kind of noises, some island type of noise. Okay, and on this bottom side we can see in this right corner the data set memory is 66.36 MB. Okay, and if we have a good hardware, and then we can also import a very large data set. It may be from up to 1 GB, 2 GB or 3 GB. Okay, it depends on your hardware requirement. Okay, so for the hardware requirement I've just selected, just crop this data set and just close it. On the top you can see that now the tools are visible, starting with the home, image processing, and then segmentation tool, morphological tools, additional filters, segmentation, automated segmentation, sorry. Now the surface tools, they are mostly like we know about the CAD tools, so they are surface tools. Volume mesh tools are also there. Measurement. Okay, so measurement, for the measurement of angle, line, distance, volume, mass density. 3D preview just for the visualization, and 3D printing. It's a separate tool for making that model ready for the 3D printing application. View for the better visualization of our data in 2D as well as in 3D. My tool is we can just create a custom tab for the tools that we most of the time that we use. Now next we help and support. Okay, so I can start with the segmentation of this data set. Okay, so as I initially discussed about the workflow. Okay, so you have a 3D image import and visualization that I have already done. Visualization is just for this. You can visualize. You can use different presets. Next is image processing. That is segmentation. Before segmentation, you can use transform tool. Let's say if we resample, you can resample your data set. I will just keep it as a isotropic resampling. Okay. Next is crop. Let's say if our data set is in of large quantity, then we want to crop it to a very specific region of interest. So we can use it. You can just click here, or you can also crop in the 2D slices as well. Just click here, just expand. Okay, so now the cropping is. Now we can proceed for the initial segmentation. For initial segmentation, we can use this threshold tool. Okay, for the threshold tool, we have to just select and scroll this. So, and if we change the slice. Okay, so when like this is a threshold, a histogram approach we are using. Okay, so you can see here this histogram. Okay, so we have to just select the lower values and upper values of the grayscale intensity. As we are going to segment hard tissue, this bone region. Okay, so we have to select a range of grayscale intensity. Okay, so that we can visualize if that range is fine. So we can see most of the hard tissue has been identified. Okay, as we are using the manual approach. Okay, because the manual approach is less costly as compared to automated approach. Okay, you can just click here if you want to fill the cavities, and click here, just click apply. Can generate a 3D, can expand this. So as you can see, we have done with the initial segmentation. Now as you can see, there are so many island type of noises present here. Okay, so for this like we have option, either we can use the same tool threshold. We just need to click here the only the large, keep the larger resulting island. Just leave it. I will again use this mask flood fill tool in this expand it. I will just click here. This will remove the noises that are present here. You can see here, now all the noises has been removed. Okay, so now we can proceed for the splitting, for the segmentation. Okay, so we are going to split that femur and the sacrum and this left hip and right hip. So the same approach we can use for the soft tissue, but the segmentation of soft tissue is a very we can say the complex task that may take time. Okay, so for the time, I've just selected this hard tissue segmentation, and after this you can use this split region, and I can expand this. I can click it, click here at this add region. Okay, so we just roughly, okay, just define the brush size. Okay, so we just roughly we have to just roughly mark the surfaces. Okay, the mask that we want to split. So as in this 2D view, I can see this the right femur as well as this left femur. Okay, so I can clearly see here. Okay, so I can just roughly mark that surface, that mask. I want to split that hip and also that femur. We don't need to be very accurate just for the splitting. Okay, so it is using algorithm for that. It is just selected that distance. It will split the two different anatomy based on the distance between the two anatomies. Just the minimum distance. Okay, and just click apply. Can remove the mask, sorry, the marker. Okay, so we can see the splitting has been done, and we generate a fast preview so that we can visualize in this 3D view as well. Okay, I can expand this. Okay, you can see. Okay, so now let's say if we want to split that right hip and left hip, and from the sacrum again, so we can use. So again, we are going to use that tool. Okay, you can see here. So again, we will use the split region tool. Just click add region. So I can see here this is the hip, Again, we'll also add to this shape again for this sacrum. Click here, just click apply. Okay, so we have just splitted the anatomies. So we can have a visualize. Okay, so this is a part of pre-processing. Okay, so as we know that this may take time. Okay, so here we can rename, like if we click here and rename it as, okay, so this is a right femur. I can click here, name as right femur. Okay, and I can just isolate this. Okay, so that we can just visualize, or just we can for this time we can just quickly generate the 3D model for the 3D printing. Okay, so we can see there are some open cavities. Okay, so you can just click here. You can see here during during this thresholding, I have not selected the proper range of grayscale values. If I select the higher values, this will automatically close that region. Let's say if I scroll this, you, can you see the changes in this? If I adjust the grayscale intensity, the lower and upper values, okay, and if we want to fill these regions, so we can use this paint with threshold approach. Okay, so we are going to paint this. Okay, so just like this, you can use this paint with threshold approach to just close the boundaries which are open to the surfaces. Okay, so you can just roughly paint that. This is just for the demonstration purpose, or you can take time to generate a very accurate model. Okay, and the accuracy of your model is also dependent on the resolution of your data set. Okay, just for the demonstration, we are just generating it very quickly. Okay, let's say we will change the color. Let's say bone. Okay, so bone is also like for the paint. Okay, you can see here. Okay, uh, for the time, let's say I will just import a different project, because if I close at every point, so this may take time. So I will just import a different data, a complete project. I will just switch my screen to already completed project. Okay, so I have already generated this 3D model. One second. Can generate a 3D preview. Okay, so this is our femur. Okay, so after applying a few close filters, some morphological filters, and then this additional filter for smoothing the surface, and the cavity fill if there is inside any cavities, and fill gap if there is any gap. Okay, like if the data already have an implant. Okay, so for the for the metal artifact reduction, we can use this CT correction. Okay, so you can see this metal artifact reduction. And for the sigmoid is very useful if the quality of our data set is not that much useful for the processing in software. So then we can use the sigmoid filter to like enlarge, to expand the values of the grayscale values. I can show you the full project generated. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so after this, you can go to this 3D preview, generate a model preview, and then you can export it as a STL file for 3D printing. Okay, and if we want to reduce the material requirement, and we want to provide the strength. Okay, so we just click here, export. So it will export our model as a STL file. So here we can write each part to a separate file. Okay, just click here, export. You can see the STL export. Okay, and let's say for material requirement, I will just provide a lattice internal lattice structure. For that, I can just generate a model preview again, and then I can convert it to surface model. Okay, so my surface model is ready, and I can go to the surface tools. I can click this internal structure wizard, and we are going to provide internal lattice structure to this. So I can select this, select this. So here we can provide the cell thickness. Okay, so let's just keep it as 2. Inner cell triangulation, we can provide, or we can keep it as coarse or fine. Let's just keep it as fine. 6, it is fine. If we want to fill any kind of small cavity, then we can click here. Okay, so here we are going to select a unit cell type. Okay, so I can see which kind of internal lattice structure I'm going to provide internally for this femur. I can have a different and see the double. Go ahead, see, or primitive you can also see. So there are different units are available. Okay, so let's just select this, show in go right, and I can just click next. Okay, I can just click finish. Okay, so now it is generating the internal structure for this femur only. Okay, and it depends on your hardware requirement, how much good your hardware are. So based on that, the processing also dependent. As I'm working on the laptop, so that's why it is taking time for the rendering. I can show you. Okay, so I can go to this view. I can show you this enable. Okay, so we can see here the type of lattice structure we have provided. So this is just for the teaching purpose. If we don't need the intercavity, because we know that the bones also have some cavities. Okay, so the bone marrow. Okay, so for the 3D printing, we don't require that internal part. Okay, you can see the type of lattice structure. And if you want to make that lattice structure as a solid, so that you can also generate the lattice structure as a solid part. So the same workflow you can apply for the complete data. Okay, and you can also have a opportunity to like to get the mass density of this femur. Okay, so for this I can show you this proximal femur, generate a full model. Okay, because it is a already completed project. If I generate a new model for the complete, so this may take time, sir. Okay, so you can see the volume mesh, because I have already generated this volume mesh, and I have selected the ANSYS as my for the export. In the FE model, you can also check the mesh quality and see negative Jacobian self intersection in out aspect ratio. Okay. If I go to this, okay, let me just show you another data for the heart. Okay, so before that, just I will just quickly show you the mass density, how you can find out. Okay, so material, we are just going to select the material as grayscale based. So here we can see this histogram. Okay, so we are going to provide the material property based on the grayscale values. You can just select. So we just have to select the range of grayscale value. Okay, so here we can just increase the number of steps to 10. Okay, or we can start this value from 0. Okay, and we are just going to change this coefficient. So these coefficient are taken from a very old journal. It is available on the website. Okay, so we are just going to change the unit to kg per meter cube, because they are arranged in. Okay, you can just close it, and I can generate a full model. Okay, and then we can go to this view and the visibility option. If I select this as mass density, you can see here, can also have a view. Okay, because initially if when I was generating this model, I just filled the internal region. Okay, so you can see here the mass density range. Okay, I will just import another project. Okay, so this is for the segmentation of this heart. Okay, as you can see, the heart is inside the ribs. Okay, let's say if we are going to segment this, because the soft tissue segmentation is a very complex task, very time consuming. Okay, so we can use a different approach, region growing. Okay, so the region growing, let's say I will just select this. Okay, I can just click here, and this will generate a model, and we can see this in 3D view as well. Okay, so this is a very large data set, as you can see. So the rendering may take time. Okay, so as you can see here, we are just segmenting that. Okay, so I can just click here again, can just generate again 3D model. Okay, so similarly, we can use for this. So it's another approach, that is region growing, because we are using the manual approach. Okay, so it's not correct. Use this, generate this, because rendering is dependent on your GPU. You can see we have just segmented that art. Okay, let's say I have just already have completed. To show you the complete. Okay, can see here. So after this, after the segmentation of this heart, and by applying the few morphological and the few additional tools, smoothing tools, so your final model will be like this. And here you can go for this 3D printing kit, and you can create some connectors, so that during this, just like this, and again create a connector, just like this. So during the print 3D printing, the actual dimension of the model will remain same. It's like that. So you can create connectors, and you can provide the base here as well. Okay, so okay, so this is all that I prepared for the today's session, sir. I'm ready for the questions. Okay. So, any questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your informative session. Dear participants, if
Uh,
you have any questions, you can just shoot out to your guest speaker. You can unmute yourself and just ask him the questions, or ask the questions in the chat box provided.
yeah. Any questions, sir, from the participant? Yes. Yes, Dr. Jahid Hassan, you can ask, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Dr. Zair Hassan, sir, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, sir.
Actually, sir, your voice is I'm not able to hear your voice. So you can write your question in the chat box as well.
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. I can hear you.
Uh, I think my system is not working properly. So I was trying to
Okay.
ask the questions from through laptop. Now I switch on in mobile itself. No, I have some queries regarding the biomaterial. For example, I am interested to do, and even I published a paper 10 year back, 11-year back on human heart tissue. So, what is the current area? Basically, I worked on the ceramic material and tried to develop the yeah, bone like this. So, what is the current area? Number one, and number two, I asked this question many researchers. So they told me the polymer is the good one. So I didn't know, even though I am teaching the material science itself, I didn't know regarding how the sensation will work in the material. This is naturally. For
Yes, sir.
example, if we felt cold, then our skin will be shrink like this. So how, what is the tolerance and how that will work like this?
Actually, sir, for this material, like we are not into that field for selecting the proper material. You can use the software to define the material property based on the grayscale values. But for selecting a proper material, sir, I can share a few research papers. IIT Delhi recently published a paper based on the materials for this.
Okay. I am also, I did my PhD from IIT Delhi itself, the 13 year
Okay.
back. So right now I am working as a director of research in Hyderabad, Nawab Shah Police Engineering. So
Okay.
thank you very much. Kindly share the that research paper.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Yes, sir.
will you share the limit?
Limits
Like
are
for example, for general any design, then we have the factor of safety. So
okay.
what is the factor of safety in case of sensation of the skin or like other part?
Factor of safety, sir. Actually, for that, I don't have that much of knowledge. I
Okay.
can explain you about the technical terms related to the software generation of model.
Okay. No, no problem. Now I will keep in touch with you. No problem. I will kindly share your that research paper. Even you
Yeah.
belong from Haryana,
Yes. Yes, sir. We are based in Gurugram.
Gurgaon. I was in Bhiwani.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
So I was in Bhiwani, and you know Behel.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir.
In Behel, I was working as a dean there, BRCM, College of BRCM in 2010.
Okay. Okay.
So, I,
No, so
okay,
sir,
thank you.
we can have a one-to-one session. Then we can discuss more about this.
Okay, thank
I
you.
hope we can help you in this. We
Okay,
have a
okay.
developer team. I will ask my developer team to have a look into this matter for the material selection.
Basically, now I am working in private college, so there is no fund regarding that. So
Okay.
I have a lot of ideas, but due to the fund, I am lacking behind.
Okay, okay, I can understand, sir. Yes.
O-
No, sir. We will in touch.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, sir, from other participants?
Dear participants, if there is any question, you can shoot it out.
I will just paste my mail ID and contact details, sir, so that if in future if any participant have any question, so please feel free to contact me.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.